following podcast contains mature language and adult discussions.
All right, everybody. Kliq This, the Kevin Nash podcast. I'm Sean. He's Kevin. If you're watching us on YouTube, like the tens of thousands of you do every month, more here than any place I know. You know, I had a random thought. What do you think the dirtiest place in your house is? It's not. I've seen statistics on this, and it's not what you're going to think. Like, it's not the toilet, because you clean it. The dirtiest place in a home is. It can be an item, too, not just the physical home. It's something in your home or whatever.
The dirtiest thing? You
keep looking down. It's not your dick. It's
No, I was just thinking my mouth is probably the dirtiest thing in my fucking house. No, I don't know, man. I'm a kind of a fucking bohemian dude, man. I'm not afraid to fucking let a little fucking filth get around me. I'm OCD, but like if I kick some drawers off and they sit there a day or two, I ain't gonna fucking scream about it. Just
doorknobs, remote controls, and cell phones. Your cell phone gets put down on every surface.
I clean the fuck out of my cell phone.
Do you really?
All the time. Fuck
well, that's
yeah.
good, because most of the time I'm talking to you, you're on the bowl. So it's good to know that shit gets wiped down.
No, I have a whole fucking ritual on that bowl. I've learned over the years you got to fucking, after you fucking drop the deuce, you know, you got to go for the wipe immediately, because then you can just sit there without crustacean. So, but then as your legs start to fucking go numb, you got to scoot your fucking quads off the fucking seat, lean back. If you're a rookie, so you're going to knock the fucking back of the toilet, and it's going to fucking clang. You're going to knock that top off. So when you start.
Are we still talking about hammering off or just?
No, I'm talking about just getting in there, because I want to do my business and do my business when I get. I go through my emails, my fucking text messages. I go through everything before I get off the bowl, because then it's just like from there I'm gonna go in. I just bought a brand new piece of cardio equipment, so I got a pre-core elliptical now, so I can do, if I wanted to do empty stomach cardio, I can do that. But I do my metabolic tea in the morning. I do my greens.
Yes. Well, do you have a bidet? You should invest in a bidet. It's the easiest way to clean up.
I just don't have room for it downstairs in the half bath.
But you can build the apparatus into the existing structure. I'm going to send you a link for that. I'm going to get you a bidet for Christmas.
Yeah, well, my shoulders are getting so fucked up, man. It's a struggle sometimes to reach back there. And
yeah, man. And let's think about it. Your hands should not be involved that much in that process. The more you can take hand action out of it, the better.
No, and the more fiber you have, the less fucking. I like it when I take, my morning fucking juice, and I can basically fucking blot, and fucking there barely be anything.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
want a nice solid one.
Yeah, I don't want to shit peanut butter.
Yeah, when that thing breaks off, it's just issues. But you have the bidet, you just blast that shit out of it. You know what I did one time? This was really troubling. I'll tell you this quick. This was back when I had a Blackberry. They were smaller.
I remember.
More rounded edges, and so
they were encrypted too.
Yes, exactly. I was at work, and I'm kind of browsing, and it comes time to get the paper going. So I put the phone down somewhere. I get my stuff, and I guess I'm in a bit of a rush. I pull up, I wash, I head out. I'm walking down the hall. I'm like, holy shit! I don't have my phone. Where did I leave the phone? I turn to run back to the bathroom to get it, and I feel a tapping on the taintal testicular asshole area. And I realize that in preparation to get the paper, I must have dropped the Blackberry down into my drawers. So when I pulled my fucking pants up, I put my phone up my ass. Had I known, I would have had people I would have had it on vibrate and had people call me all fucking afternoon.
Oh,
Would have made every meeting much easier to deal with. But yeah, Blackberry in ass, first and only time. Didn't request it. Wasn't a bedroom activity.
See, I'm just saying that would probably be why your phone would be on the list of filthy things.
Absolutely. And I can't make a guarantee that I cleaned it for the rest of the day, I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure. And I don't know who took it to check their email.
I'd have to have a Q-tip and some shit that's that. This is what I read a couple comments this past week from YouTube. And somebody said that the graphic opening remind them of a gay seduction, or they made some reference to it. And I was just like, can I grab you and we go off? And,
because you kidnapped me.
Yeah, I kidnapped you. And first off, so
what's wrong with that?
Exactly. Second of all,
2023.
It's like, okay, I don't see that, but obviously you do. So,
everyone's upbringing was different, clearly.
Yeah, my socialization process was different, and I don't know. We just, that wouldn't be something that would come up in my mind in seeing that. Always gives me the gay cruise hookup.
See, the use of fantasy might be Greg Quinn tipping his hand a little bit right there. Gay cruise hookup fantasy. I think that word kind of gives us a
eyes without a trace.
Yeah. Also a great podcast. That 7 returns though between that is interesting. We're traveling again, I hear. You're back on the road this week. Where are you going?
Yes, I am going to Lafayette, Louisiana. They'll have me some crayfish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, is this a nice area? I hear that there are some absolutely terrifying areas in Louisiana.
I've always liked Lafayette, and then the people that run this con, not that it'll do me any good now because it's still air after it.
Yeah, you'll be back already, but
I do it, but they're really good people.
Okay.
And it's a smaller market, and it's kind of it's my sound's fucked up. Is my sound fucked?
No, I hear you.
It seemed like I lost the sound. But where my head's at right now, it's a good thing to do. So
that's where you will have been on Monday whenever
and
everyone's watching this.
And I did not know this, but I will see my friend Jack, or Mick Foley, Cactus Jack.
Yes. Oh, Kane Hodder will be there too.
Yeah, he's a nice dude.
Is he?
Yeah. Let's see who else we got. Oh.
Am I supposed to know these people? We're scrolling through for anyone listening on.
Yeah.
I know there's 137,000 listening.
We need to stop doing this. Take that down, because we need to be more cognitive of our
listeners. See, so I should have been reading the names. This is my fault. I dropped the ball just there. I should have been reading every name.
And I in no way disagree.
Right. Well, Kevin eats a dick. I'll read some feedback from last week. Mikey Mike.
God, you talk about cock a lot.
Anyone who's never been to our pre-shows, our pre-show meetings, when we do live audiences, it's very cock heavy. Mikey Mike says Kevin would be a very, very great SNL host. Absolutely. He would be funny in skits, as he has shown us all these years during his wrestling career. So in considering this, I wondered who you'd be cast as. Like, remember they cast Jim Carrey as Biden, and they had Rudy Giuliani, who was always played by Kate McKinnon, rather brilliantly, I have to say. And who do you think you'd be doing if you were on that, if you guest hosted?
I guess Michael Steele.
You could do a little. No, you could. You would do. You could do right now. You could do a little Jeff Bridges. I think.
I could do Jeff Bridges.
Got
to give a shout out. 25 years to the dude.
25 years.
Yeah, 25 years.
To who?
To the dude. Jeff Bridges.
What's his 20? What's the 25th anniversary for?
Of his film.
Big Lebowski? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know, I wasn't a fan. I'll be honest with you. I saw it. Yeah. I was young though. Maybe I should revisit it. I'll revisit it.
It was actually on today when I went to the barber today and had my hair cut, my beard trimmed for my Louisiana Gimmack Tabernacle.
Okay.
So do I look?
Did they actually touch the beard? Because it looks like it looked last week. Did they get to it?
No, I mean you can probably you can see it more here.
Okay. Yes. There you go.
It's down. When I turn, that's a fucking horrible camera angle. Like every woman knows that this is the proper angle you're supposed to shoot yourself.
No, from above, right? The camera should be above so that you don't get the neck fat.
Yeah, that's
yes.
What it is. It's down.
Absolutely, that's it right there.
Now I look like that fucking one of those Planet X fucking old B science fiction movie.
You just took 12 years off your face right there by changing the angle.
Absolutely. Would you enjoy watching the rest of the show like this?
Sitting on top of your head.
Fuck.
Oh, David Martinez.
Somebody got high again.
People tended to like last week's show, so whatever went on should continue
man.
to go on.
You know what? I was in the zone, and I feel like the pregame that we had, the extra long pregame today.
Yes.
All they did was bring me in on the sweet spot where I went into the sweet spot like right towards the end of the show last show. This show I'm coming
there.
in. Yeah, I'm coming fuck
hot. David Martinez, man, my love for Tristan grows as Kevin gives more nuggets about him. Great musician, gamer, now knowing he loves Mac Miller. I bet he was an interesting cat to hang with. Definitely.
I actually at one point said Max. I think by mistake.
Instead of Max.
Somebody said that. I was just like, CTE.
It's all right.
No, don't even fucking. I'm tired of that. That CTE is like the fucking new quad joke.
Well, let me drive it into the
ground. What was I saying?
Then.
What was I saying?
Exactly. Don't start stuttering. No stutters last week, by the way. I saw you get put over for that as well.
Yeah, because I was stoned. You know what? When I'm stoned, I fucking slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And if that sativa, it just makes you more interesting. I'm sorry.
Right.
At my age, I need it. Because I sit and watch I watch too much fucking news.
You really do. LX Flowers, haven't laughed as hard as I just did when the image of Kevin Nash, who was the complete opposite of Harriet Tubman, says he was playing her in a deadpan voice. Hey, don't laugh. They may.
You know what? Exactly. Then the next thing you know, and the Oscar goes to Kevin Nash, Harriet Tubman.
They're going to loosen the restrictions on playing a cross race soon.
I think
I always bristled at that for acting because, like, you're supposed to be portraying something you're not. I don't want murderers playing murderers. I think it's fine. I thought Tony Montana, Al Pacino as Tony Montana was fine. He was cute. He played a Cuban. He wasn't. I guess you can't do that anymore for some reason.
Yeah, because Chris Rock covered it.
God bless. I'm going to get to him soon. God bless him. Chris Presnell. You guys have the best podcast ever. Big Daddy Cool is the giant killer. And Sean the Ayatollah of the interview. Drop top Sebring and some 16 ounces. Booyah.
I was fucking on our way to Club Lavilla, MANSCAPED. I'll never forget that as long as I live.
Where was this? What city?
So we landed, I think we landed in Pensacola, actually, because that was the only place that had first class. So we had to drive to Panama City, and it was that outdoor show, Club Lavilla. So Scott had maybe been out of fucking rehab a month. And he's like, oh, fuck, man, it's spring break. So I went ahead and reserved a Chrysler Sebring convertible so we could drop the top and get some fucking rays. So I was coming from Phoenix. I was tan. That motherfucker lived in Florida, so he was. So, but he wasn't going to drive from Orlando, so he flew from Orlando to Atlanta to Pensacola. That's what I just did. I did Daytona Beach to Atlanta to Pensacola to Atlanta, Daytona.
Oh, you have to get first class. You have to do that extra stop.
There's no flight straight across. And so you're fucked. And it's like 435, 440 miles. You ain't going to fucking work a fucking convention on Sunday, sign for fucking 4 or 5 hours, and then jump into a car, drive 6.5, 7 hours into Bike Week. No. Didn't seem like. I'm thinking to myself, like, even with the amount of turbulence and the fact that you now can fucking take a correspondence course to become an air traffic controller. Yeah, hold on a second. Yeah, American 225, go ahead and lay that bitch down on runway 107. Hold on a second, Canadian Airway, you're taking off on what? 107. American, you need to pull up. There's a Canadian Air coming up your way. Are you fucking me? And then I loved it last night when I watched, and the FAA has a, what was it? It was the FAA like spokesperson that was talking about how fucked up shit was as far as in the air traffic control. And he was like a temporary. He wasn't like he was like a temp guy. Like he's just doing it for right now. And
the spokesperson was?
He's the guy from that runs the FAA. He's like, he's not an appointed dude.
He's like an acting.
Yeah, that's what it's like or some shit. I'm like, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna get on this next week. I'm thinking, it's fucking Tuesday, motherfucker. You can't get on this by Friday. You got planes fucking gonna hit it. Need the fucking weekend where there's really a lot of travel and see if we can iron shit out on our own before we have a meeting. I'm like, What kind of fucking horse shit's that?
There's some more important things they had to discuss, like tightening the seats a little more so you can't fucking move at all in a coach row. I know you wouldn't know anything about coach, but it's not a fun place to be.
It's pretty fucking tight up front for a big old fucking goof.
Yeah. For a 7-foot punk.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I mean, even a 6-inch cock fucking won't fit in a Japanese condom.
Douglas D. Love, after watching this morning's episode of Kliq This podcast and hearing Kevin Nash not stutter once, it totally made sense when near the end he said he ingested some cannabis. The power of pot, my fellow humanoids. Legalize it. Love you, big guy. You too.
Thank you. Love you too, man.
Mike Page, that's a speaker grill in that 64 Galaxy. Man, my dad used the triangle window to smoke in a 73 Ford truck. We couldn't roll down the window because he didn't want the wind in his eyes. That's a callback to Kevin's story last week about his dad.
My dad didn't play the fucking radio. Like, I don't remember. I remember a couple of times listening to Motown when him and I would go, like, to hardware store or something like that. But, like, plus, when you're a kid, do you really fucking pay AM radio? How good would the quality be through the fucking some monolithic fucking loudspeaker that you've got in your homeroom?
Well, it's better than this just sound of the fucking road and dad's farts. I mean, you got to do something. Could you drive anywhere without the radio now? Do you ever need silence?
There's so many times that I'm like halfway to the gym and I haven't turned on the radio or anything. My fucking brain does. Man, I can't shut my shit off.
Yeah, I know. Do you meditate at all? Maybe you should start.
Yeah, I'd meditate about, that's all I need to do is fucking, then it's like 6 hours later, somebody will find me. Fucking locked in some fucking loop thought. You're like that motherfucker on, what was the name of that movie? Midnight Express.
Charles Grodin and
no, that's the
no, that's Midnight Run. You're talking about the heroin smuggler in Turkey.
Yeah, the one where fucking Jim Carrey does the parody on it in fucking Cable Guy when Matthew Broderick's in fucking the prison or the jail and Carrey pulls up his shirt and puts his breast on the fucking plexiglass. I'm sorry, man, but like, I'm one of those motherfuckers that I just thought that Jim Carrey was brilliant.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think there's any denying
I just thought
that.
he was fucking brilliant, man.
He kind of got his due as he aged. I think in the beginning, the Ace Ventura or whatever, and the show Living Color. But he showed a lot of range after that, and he's a really talented artist. Do you ever see any of his paintings?
Yes. No, yeah. He's an incredible human being. He said, I'd love to fucking sit down and have like a 4-hour fucking dinner and he smoke, whatever the fuck, just chill.
We should get him on here. I think we have some big plans come up. We're going to let everybody know very soon.
Hey guys, need to call a quick time out here. Wanted to tell your listeners what I've been telling my listeners over at Oh You Didn't Know for a while now about all the cool things happening over at adsfreeshows.com.
The wrestling wars are heating up as David Crockett and Conrad revisit March of 1985 on The Book. Vince has brought WrestleMania 1 to life, while Jim Crockett Promotions is preparing to be back on TBS television.
And you got Dusty Rhodes and Tully Blanchard on top, Magnum TA and Ivan Koloff for the U.S. title, $5,200 at the gate. And meanwhile, while that show's happening, WrestleMania is becoming a thing. And the wrestling wars are about to heat up because just 1 week from now, you guys are back on TBS.
Former WWE executive John Filippelli sits down with Conrad on an all-new edition of The Insiders and discusses his tumultuous relationship with Bruce Pritchard during his time with the company.
Vince was trying to, I think there were times where he tried to sort of get us to try and work together better than we were. And when I was quite candid about how I felt about him, about that I didn't appreciate him undermining us or me, and I would have no part of it. And I told Vin, if he doesn't straighten his act out, I don't want, he's got to go. Either he goes or I go.
Ad-free shows members recently got to chat live with the Enforcer, Arn Anderson, and hear stories of legends like the late, great Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Sharpest, funniest, wittiest guy there's ever been on this earth. I could look at Bobby and go, hey, Bobby, you got a bump on your neck. Before I could get neck out of my mouth, he had to come back. Boom, boom, boom. And just hilarious.
That's just a small taste of what we got waiting for you. With 4 levels to choose from, see for yourself why Ads-Free Shows is the best value in wrestling today. Sign up now at adsfreeshows.com.
Baba Yaga Slobdanaka said, I probably watch that prank call video at least once a month. It's hilarious. That was the public access host from Manhattan Public Access having a discussion about New York guns. See if you can search it out or just watch last week's episode.
Do you remember when the Jerky Boys fucking had that?
Absolutely.
I remember we got a hold of a cassette. It had to be a cassette because there's no way somebody burned a fucking CD. And it was the Jerky Boys, and it was that one where the guy, he says, yeah, he calls, he says, yeah. He calls like an attorney or something. He says, yeah, they want to talk about suing. I was riding a motorcycle down the street. He says, goes on and on and on. And finally, the attorney goes, who are you going to sue? He says, sue you.
Yes, I'll sue you. Yeah.
Yeah, sue me for what? For punitive damages. That's sue me. You know, I said, hey, it's Kissel. Warlords. I mean,
they were great.
And you know what, man? It was
sophomoric, wonderful fun.
Me and Brian Adams were making a road trip. He was like one of my I really liked Brian. I always got along with him, and he turned me on to Stern. Like late night, we were driving up in fucking Northeast, and I was just like, "Holy fuck!" So then it was just like we were obsessed on Stern, and anytime we could find him, we would. And it was kind of cool because the car just shut the fuck up. You know,
right?
The car it was like kind of, the drinking was way down, and for a chance, man, like everybody wasn't talking the business. We'd be, you know what I mean? It'd be like, fuck, I'm so glad we're not talking wrestling.
Well, humor was dangerous back then. Steve, I need you to find real quick here the Korean clock lady prank call from Stern. Let me know when you have it. But it's when comedy was dangerous, and we're going to talk about Chris Rock in a little bit, and that's kind of what I was so refreshed to see. You can't... All right, how do I say this? Go through history and select your top 5 comics. You don't have to say it on air. I'm just saying everybody. Chances are they were all pushing the envelope in some way. Every top name in comedy, Pryor, Carlin, Kinison, they were all pushing the envelope. As much as you were laughing, you were going, ooh.
George Gobel.
A little George Gobel. Thank God there's another George Gobel reference on this show. You don't get this anywhere else, folks.
Oh,
Buddy
you gotta
Rich,
go.
George Gobel.
You gotta go back to the Gobel, man. The Valentine's beer. Everybody's having one. Here we go.
Let's hear a little bit of the Korean clock lady here.
From yesterday is the
Jump to the
Korean
call,
clock lady.
so
I was talking to people about this.
Just slide
yesterday
down to
afternoon.
where
This is
actually,
one of the funniest phone calls ever.
This is a Korean clock
This
lady
is
who
Sal
can't
the
say the word
stockbroker.
clock.
It's the clock repair shop?
Yes.
Oh, I just inherited a grandfather clock.
Okay. How old is that clock?
The clock is, I would say, about 75 years old.
75 years is not old for a clock.
What's that?
This is not old for a clock.
Okay. Now, how do you repair it? Explain it.
The first thing is make sure the clock is completely level.
The what?
The clock is completely leveled.
Okay. It's about 10 inches.
10 inches?
Yes.
Is it a wind-up?
Wind up what?
Wind-up clock.
Yes. There's something in the back. It does wind up. I don't have the key, though.
Okay. You're welcome to bring it in.
Bring what in?
The small clock.
I can't wind the clock, though, because I don't have a key.
Yes, you just need to bring the small thing in.
The small what?
The small clock.
Okay. Now, I don't have a key. Can you repair this clock?
Yes. That's why I just need to see it.
See what?
See your small clock.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can explain it to you. I have a lot here, too.
A lot of what?
Different clocks.
Okay.
I have over 100 clocks here.
How many?
Over 100.
100 what?
Clocks.
Oh, my God. Do you fix the clock with your own hands? How does that work?
Okay, we have a certified master cock maker here
Okay.
who's able to diagnose and tell you exactly what happened to your cock and the time and the price lead to do so.
Okay. Now, this clock, it's all black.
So please come in. That's so simple.
Okay, because I have a 10-inch black cock, and you could take a look and see if you can work it and fix it.
Yes.
You can fix it with your hands.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
That's basically
Bye-bye.
it.
Bye-bye.
You don't get dangerous comedy anymore. But I could see how that could quiet a car full of wrestlers.
I mean, you might laugh, you know. There might be some shit about cock or something, but I mean, yeah, you're just gonna let it play.
Oh, let's see. Zufalig says, if you notice, the clock in the Sleep Me ad was set to 4:20.
And you know what? It could have been.
I don't remember. And he also says, love the Buddy Rich content. See that? Yeah, you know what? We talked about this when we were on. You were like, it's 11:20. There's no way they're sleeping like that. And I said, no, it could be 4:20.
It is 4:20 because the other ones were the alarmist set. It's very thin.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I'm way more stoned, so I'm much more observant.
Thank
you know
for
what?
The feedback, everybody.
I just want to go on record that I have not watched AEW in months.
That you have not watched it.
Have not watched.
And this is genuine when you say this.
No, Genuine's a black R&B singer. This is Kevin Nash.
Okay. So, well, you could have put it on if you want. I mean, it's there.
No, we see. It goes back to Steve Austin and I got a pact that he's not watching it, therefore I'm not watching it. And what I can tell by Twitter is Taker's now not watching it.
He's not watching it either.
Taker's not watching. So that, and it's nothing against any of the talent over there. Anybody that does anything over there, it's just something that we decided. It's like Lent. You have to give things up.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that. So
yet Twitter maybe was a buzz with that.
It doesn't change the fact that Kenny Omega is my favorite wrestler,
and should be, and you his probably.
It doesn't change that at all.
Do you get feedback at all? Like, we get fan feedback, and we always cover that here. Do you ever get any feedback from like your family about anything discussed here? Like your brother ever call you?
My sister-in-law will she listens to it.
Right.
My brother's wife, she'll comment on shit.
Now, is that cool, or do you find that annoying that you've got to revisit everything you talked about?
No, because she's smart. She's a school teacher. She's been great for my brother. She's been cool.
So your wife doesn't listen, right?
No.
Okay.
That goes on the pirate ship fucking rule.
Right. Exactly. Church and state.
It's not that I'm embarrassed about it, I say. It's just that
you have to be unencumbered. You've got to be free to say whatever comes to your mind. And if you're going to be judged by those around you, you're not going to be free to speak on the air.
Well, it's just why she wouldn't judge me. It would just be like, because we all are it's a performer in me. So when I have that fucking little white light on top of that computer on, it's an amped up version of me.
Right.
Sometimes I might go just stammer. Sometimes I might not. But is it a word? Am I doing it to create fucking a buzz, and then the next week I don't stammer? Am I working you? Do I right now have Gentleman's fucking Club Tell on both scrotum?
A little club man smacking your balls with that before you get on air?
Boom. These are the things fucking that are really like the essence of life.
I heard JR covered that exact thing, whole episode on it this week.
Club Mental?
Club Mental on the sack. Yeah. Then I think he did an episode on you. Might have been the same episode. So Chris Rock had the live show, and then you can get it on Netflix now, but he was on Netflix Live. Was that their first live event? Might have been.
Yes, it was their first live event, which I thought was kind of, for us, curious, because it would possibly open the chance for them, I'm trying to find my fucking eye drops, open the chance for them to see how the WWE would work as on a live type situation.
Well, because we discussed that, right? You were talking about different formats if they were purchased by a Netflix or an Amazon, and you talked about maximizing the doesn't have to be streaming that; it could be live. So, yeah, that's an interesting element. But I loved. Well, first of all, I think Chris Rock's a funny comic, right? One of the handful that I laugh from, or smile at least, from beginning to end. He doesn't waste a moment. There's no fat in the act. He's funny straight through.
And my wife and I, we watched it live. And she was like, I don't understand. It's going to be on Netflix. You can watch this fucking 2:00 tonight. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, it's live. So the only time you're going to get unedited version of this is watching it live. Nobody's editing something with a 7-second delay, and there's no. I mean,
there was a post show though too, right? I didn't see the live, but I know there was supposedly a post show.
Post show. But to me, it was just like I wanted, because I was nervous for him, because I'm thinking like, you can't do a fresh fucking set. Like, he couldn't have done that last 10 minutes in front of anybody. That was the only person he did that to was maybe a mirror, but mostly in his fucking skull. And that last 10 minutes was it was solid. It was dynamite. And that was it was a human being fucking going through all the emotions. I don't give a fuck if he's 56 years old or however old he is. He had a lot. He's waited a long time to fucking smack back.
You're talking about when he talks about the smack heard around the world. Yeah, and he did not hold back at all. I was so good. What a sack on him to go out. And because, I thought I'd get some jokes, but I thought he would babyface the whole situation. But he went after the couple. I mean, she was not exempt either.
No. And under the circumstances, it's just like, again, he gave his version of, his perception of how he looked at things. And that's all we can do as human beings. Like, you and I absolutely sopped it up. It was down our, it was down our wheelhouse. And, there's a lot of people that would said it was shit. And I would disagree, but it wouldn't make me dislike the person. Like, if somebody came up and said, I didn't like the Chris Rock thing at all, I wouldn't be like, okay, well, we can't
be friends.
We can't have any further interaction. Like, it's like politics. Politics to me are like women. Like, man, like you might like your politics one way. You might like a little meat on your girl.
We clearly drew a line in the sand last week.
I'm just saying.
Brought up, were we off camera or were we on camera for that discussion about Joey Ryan's ex-girlfriend? I think we were off camera.
No, I think we were on.
Were you? Were we on for that? I don't even remember.
I don't remember, but I
thought she was too heavy, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
But anyway, to illustrate your point, there's a perfect example.
Steve's saying we couldn't have been. Oh yeah,
Maybe I was holding up the phone, whatever. But the point was that some porn stars were on video, and Kevin was talking about when I said, "Yeah, what about this one?" And I brought up, he's like, "Oh boy, she doesn't miss the buffet or whatever the fuck." But so difference of opinion.
Yeah, it doesn't mean she wasn't. I mean, I'm sure somebody found her attractive.
But Rock, to get back to Rock, what I loved most was the danger in comedy. I said it before. He was unapologetically stepping over that line for the entire show. And it was a big middle finger to all this overly woke sensitivity. I mean, he took it from stop being a victim if you're not a victim to just his language. I loved it. I thought he brought comedy back.
And
the
thing was, he says, I got fucking hit. I never once played the victim card. He's like, fuck, like, drop it. Like, there's shit that goes on. It's like, come on, man. Like, history's history. If it fucking happened and there's, like, I'm sorry, but this critical fucking race theory shit, it's like, I don't give a fuck what you want to call it, but I hope that Tyler Perry and Oprah and all those, and Jay-Z and all the billionaire blacks that are involved in the arts take some time, and if there's a story that needs to be told that they're not telling our kids, like the Black Wall Street that I wasn't taught when I grew up. If our kids, that's fucking history, man. When I learned that, I was just like, and I dove into it. I wanted to find more because that's what we should be. We should be inquisitive. We should want knowledge. Knowledge is power. And if they're not going to fucking cover specific things, motherfucking get some actors and put your money. You got a fucking studio down in Atlanta, and tell the fucking story, because guess what, man? They will fucking watch it if it's on Netflix. I promise you it will get more fucking coverage, because you sure as fuck ain't going to get a kid to read a book.
Well, it's funny. Your fair governor, Ron DeSantis, doesn't seem to be. He wants to vet what he feels is appropriate history and what he feels isn't, which is basically what they've been doing in history books for the last 200 years. But you're exactly right. You can't even compare the power of YouTube or Netflix to a textbook. I mean, they're hyper focused on what's talked about in the classroom in a 45-minute period. The information's available out there. This isn't the only place your kids are going to run into the truth about a lot of American history. I don't think we have to shit on, which is, I think, a knee-jerk reaction, shitting on the founding fathers because of slavery. And we have to take this all in context. You got to look at the totality of what somebody did in their life. Lest we not be judged by.
You have to look at the situation of the reason there was a Revolutionary War was because the United States of America were tired of paying the British fucking government taxation for fucking the slaves, taxation for the fucking the cotton. We went to war because of fucking the slavery. That's what the American. What do people know what caused the American Revolution?
Well, I think they get the blanket version that we wanted to be free from Britain, but they don't drill down and see all of the issues that were on the table.
Exactly,
at the time.
And it was land barons. It was the slave. You watch the movie the Patriot with Mel Gibson, and he's hiding his slaves underneath the house when they lit the house on fire. He's giving. It's like they were property to them.
Right.
It was like somebody going to the barn and getting the horses. And it's just like, fuck, like these stories need to be told. And, people will say like, they need to get over it, you know. And I'm just like, I don't know, man, because I ain't black. And I don't go back to my, you know, I mean, I can go back to my lineage and see that, yeah, the Cherokee Indians who my mom was I think at least a quarter of, if not more, which makes me Cherokee Indian to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely don't need any money from my tribe. Let it be the people's, but they had a you know, when you read The Tale of Tears and you spend time at that and you look at that and that's your lineage and you're just like, those are my, like, like somebody in my family got fucked with, and here I am, you know. This is where I always jump to, you know, because I know my lineage. I know what the Tale of Tears and the agony those people went through, and here I am standing outside of an S-Class. I just ran through the fucking car wash, bitching because premium unleaded's $3.99. White man problems, rich white man problems.
Well, it's got to be, you got to teach it, right? You got to, if you're going to teach history, you got to teach the right history. And listen, you
teach
can
it all,
educate
man.
yourself, though, too. We can't lose our personal responsibility to drill down on our own and read shit. You know, you talked about the working class folk that maybe roll in around 7 o'clock, you know, get in working a long day. And you've got a finite amount of time for your information, for your news. Where do you go? You're going to go to the place that's most comfortable, right?
Absolutely.
And I think, unfortunately, what gets sacrificed is a counterpoint, right? At least understanding the opposition. You don't have to agree with it, but I certainly want to hear where they're coming from. If I read a dissenting opinion in a news article, I want to continue to read it to find out what the fuck they're talking about. And, you know, I think this week, via some tweets that were subpoenaed in the Dominion lawsuit against a...
that was some, I mean, to me, I don't think in my 63 years, and I know that my father, I've been watching the news probably since I was 4 years old that I can recall. You know, Walter Cronkite was my dad's go-to guy. And I've never seen anything as just shocking from somebody that's, you know, supposed to be a journalist, and somebody that's, you know, there's a lot of people that watch Tucker Carlson because he's the most watched entity on cable news, and there's a lot of those people are my friends that watch that show, and I have a ton of friends that watch his show, and to find out that, you know, that how he feels and what he says are two different things, and there's, like I said earlier in this show, that they're coming home. And they've got a 60-hour work week. They've still got to kiss mama, play catch with the kids, go over and make, you know, pretend cookies in the little fake oven with the daughter. They got to, you know, do some maybe some schoolwork with them, take the dog out, take the garbage out. And the last thing you want is some motherfucking person, excuse my French, I don't mean that to be, I'm not in any way judging Tucker Carlson, because to me, what he's doing is what I did for fucking 30 years. He's a fucking worker. That's all he is. He's the top guy in the bullshit business.
What people turn to someone like Tucker Carlson for is their editorial opinion. They're not going there for news. You're going to get somebody's personal spin. And what came out this past week is that editorial opinion was not even legitimate. So what I mean, the two of us aren't going to be able to answer this question. I would like to hear from a Fox News watcher, somebody who's dedicated enough time to listening, maybe aligning themselves with Tucker Carlson's opinion, maybe even using that as ammunition to foster their own opinion. What they feel now that the following tweets that were happening under Trump's presidency, they were actually sent on January 4th.
Some of these are tweets, and yeah, they're all tweets.
They were text messages. I'm sorry. They were. I said. Did I say tweets? I meant text messages. Yeah.
But I'm saying though that so people will know, because you have to go into it. You've got to go into the. Well, just real the cliff notes. We have to go into the fact that this is part of a $1.6 billion case against Dominion, against Fox. And this is all information that has been disclosed in depositions and in evidence, so on and so forth. Thus, now you can, if you can, Sean, please take it over.
So what we have on the screen is this is a snapshot of Tucker Carlson's texts to a Fox employee that isn't named in the paperwork. What I have here is, quote, Tucker, "We are very, very close to being able to ignore Trump most nights. I truly can't wait." Then a reply, a similar-minded employee, and then back to Tucker, "I hate him passionately. I blew up at Peter Navarro today in frustration. I actually like Peter, but I can't handle much more of this." So that was one piece of it. This is from the court transcript, the discovery material from trial. It's going to be tough for me to read there, unless you go in a little more. There we go. But he might never leave. Would be hard to ignore if the Manhattan DA or New York Attorney General charges on January 21st. He goes on to say, "It's ridiculous that people are continuing this charade," meaning the challenging the legitimacy of the election is what he's referencing. That's me speaking. Back to Tucker. "It's ridiculous that people are continuing this charade. Was he pushing the idea Pence can solve everything?" Next text. He was pushing, zoom in on that a little bit. Just a little bigger. He was pushing voter fraud stuff. I have no doubt there was fraud, but at this point, Trump and Lynn and Powell have so discredited their own case and the rest of us to some extent that it's infuriating. Absolutely enrages me. While on camera, he was pushing a very different narrative, to the point where he was granted by McCarthy 14,000 hours of video that he packaged conveniently into the most.
There's the one. Did we get the one where it says that admitting what a disaster the last 4 years has been is too tough to digest? Is there really an upside to Trump?
There isn't really an upside to Trump.
Yeah, that's
quote.
That's another piece of that dialogue. And
So-
it's just like I look at go ahead. I'm sorry.
These are the facts. I mean, we're not really editorializing here. We're just kind of reading what's been put out, but we're pondering. This is an individual. Agree or disagree with him? He's there, and he's paid very highly, and has the highest rated news show, I think, right, in primetime news.
I'm pretty sure he has the sweetest deal on fucking cable, and if he didn't just get it,
and absolutely the biggest news story for how many months? How many months of juice was squeezed out of the election fraud claims? was
I mean,
all absolutely
fucking-
fabricated bullshit.
from the end of November forward.
Yeah.
And
So I'm
then,
just curious on the reaction.
and so, okay, and I'm the same thing. Like, I want somebody to explain to me how they personally feel right now if they considered them a fan of Tucker Carlson. Like, I
mean,
remember
some people live and die by these opinions.
I remember there was a time, and a bunch of left-wing yahoos found out where he lived and went to his house. Do you remember that? He's got like a brownstone. They were standing outside of it, and they covered it. And I thought to myself, like, I'm not a fan of his, but this is fucking bullshit.
No, that's over
Like-
the line, of course.
Like,
Absolutely.
where are the fucking cops? Like what the fuck? Like, how are they letting this happen? Like, you can have an opinion that's different than mine, but I'll still watch. I'll still watch your show because I've got to know what's going on. If I just talked to Yoda and never talked to fucking Darth Vader, I'm not gonna fucking do too well in this fucking world.
People don't take the time to do that kind of shit, Kev.
They don't have it. That's what's unfortunate. They don't have the time we do.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think we can make time. Listen, if you're going to watch a 1 hour, if you're going to dedicate 1 hour, and by the way, how many people really get their news from television versus this, right? You can hit a couple of different websites while you're on the bowl during the day, or a news aggregator that pulls from different sources, like Apple does that.
Have you checked out? Is it 1440? Is that the new news thing that's supposed to be? Any of you guys know anything about 1440?
I haven't.
Wesley, Steve, anyone? Bueller? No clue. I'm so fucking progressive.
You're really way ahead of the fucking curve. You and Chris Rock. And are you member now? What about I hear you're trying to get the Sierra Club to get rid of you guys.
Oh, mother fucker!
You're that progressive.
Jesus Christ! Fuck me. I mean, yeah. While they're handing out fucking some square Detroit pizza to the fucking guys over there, so yeah, I don't know what they want to change it to. Does anybody know what they want to change you guys to?
Let's see. I'm gonna find it.
So, and while you're finding that, this is my whole thing.
Go ahead.
My wife is watching TV with me when this comes up, and she says, "You do that," and I said, "I do what?" She says, "You say you guys," and I said, "I grew up north." And 1440 lines, that's what it is. Okay. So I said to her, I said, "Yeah, but," I said, she says, "No, but it's you guys is gender specific." And I said, "Okay, would you rather me say, 'Hey, you fucking two assholes, you guys, are you two fucking assholes coming or what?' 'Hey, fuckheads, you coming or what?' It's like, I think I'd rather say you guys. I've been saying that my whole life. Now I can't say you guys? It's not politically correct?
Yeah, bending language always pissed me off. So the Sierra Club's Equity Language Guide is what we are referring to. And they're apparently, it's a 27-page language guide. I'm getting my source for this is the Washington Post, if anyone is wondering. So they're cautioning against the following. Yes, you guys. Man-made. They'd like that replaced with human-caused for man-made. And here it is, Kev. Y'all.
Y'all?
For you guys.
Y'all.
Y'all.
And when we say
If
that,
the Washington Post is correct, it's y'all.
do we have to stand up out of a cornfield on hee-haw and say it? Y'all want to come?
Apparently, it's all Alabama all the time. Migrant to be replaced with person seeking citizenship.
Y'all is to me is that is antebellum. That's like Southern. Because you guys is like that. You guys is in New York, like the up east, like north, that kind of you guys, and then y'all. I guess
Not up here.
It's not gender specific, right? So, y'all.
But that's the best we could do. Was y'all?
Well, I knew we were. I knew we were fucked up when the Cracker Barrels started making their way up fucking up north. I knew, man. Too many people in that store walking around buying shit, old school fucking Faygo Pop, and
Where else can you get a hearty chicken and biscuits, a Merle Haggard CD, and a box of 80s candy? Cracker Barrel, period, motherfucker. That's it.
And if you're fucking feeling fucking awfully spry, you can get out on a rocker and play little checkers on a barrel.
Right outside. That's it, baby. Love me some Cracker Barrel.
When T was little, T used to like playing checkers. And if we went to Cracker Barrel, he'd take, instead of walking inside, he'd just go like, Dad, like, let's get one.
Yeah, Dom bringing up that you want, if you need the Kingston Trio's greatest hits, go straight to a Cracker Barrel.
Did they sing "Hang Down Your Head"? Tom Dooley.
I think Tom Dooley was a Kingston Trio.
Pretty fucking sure.
Oh God! You know what? I've decided that next week we're going to do something special. We will be March Madness is about to get underway.
God, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, John Woodard. And
John Wooden, the coach?
John Wooden, the coach. And he he just said, I think that the field's really deep this year. And I was just like, oh, fuck, I don't think the field's deep. It seems like there's so much parity. Like if somebody said to me, who's like, give me your Final Four in the women's NCAA tournament, I'd be like, South Carolina's gonna win. Boom, done. South Carolina's gonna win. They've won 39 games in a row since they haven't lost since last year's tournament. So it's just like nobody's touching them. Fucking Alabama, Houston looked like, okay, Houston might be it. Then fucking Houston gets out of Memphis by 1 point, and they fucking score like, it's like 56-55, like no offense. You see, Miami I think they're ended up in on top of ACC. They got a couple of guys with hops, a couple guys that can stroke it. I watched Duke play, and I'm like, Duke could do some damage, but the big kid, the big 7 foot kid inside, that's a freshman, he ain't a freshman no more. He's played a season ACC ball. So I mean, then you got Purdue with I think his name's Ely or whatever his name is, Eddie, that big 7'4" dude. They got a couple of shooters out there. I watched them get hot the other night. But then they were playing the Illini, and fucking the Illini made a run on them. And they don't, it's like anything else, man. Like, I'm going to go to that fucking 7'4" guy until you A, stop him, B, completely clog so we're shooting 1,001, 1,002, 1,003 second setup fucking threes. And I'm going to follow your big guy the fuck out. You're going to put another guy on him. I'm going to fucking foul him out. The big kid shoots about 76% from the free throw line. He's going to shoot free throws all fucking night long. I'm going to fucking Kareem Abdul-Jabbar your ass, but he was Lou Alcindor at UCLA. but I'm going to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar your ass and beat the fuck out of you in the paint, because guess what? Games don't go to fucking 120 points when it's the tournament time. Everybody's ass gets real fucking tight.
I just think this year when the brackets come out, I'm going to pick I probably see myself picking a lot of underdogs.
I think that
because this is a year for it.
It's like is it the 8-9 or 7-8? I don't know which game it is. I think it's the 8-9 is the one that's like, that's the one that fucks up your bracket every fucking year. Those 8-9 games, because you pick the wrong one and that motherfucker makes that 8 makes a fucking 2-game jaunt and knocks out two of your other. You're like, oh fuck. So
no, I'm seeing. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate picking 4th, 5th, 6th seeds ending up in the Final Four based on what I'm seeing in the conference tournaments.
Right.
I mean, things may tighten up a little bit, and
after
the first round, we'll know.
It'll be interesting tonight when I come back, because the ACC started tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The tournament started, so it'll be interesting to see what the fuck, what how that came out. And I think maybe LSU and Florida play tonight. What do we got here? Houston Jayhawks, Alabama, Purdue. So the Latino UCLA Bruins, Arizona, Baylor. I haven't seen enough. I absolutely despise that fucking white boy that plays for Gonzaga. That's fucking. He's too fucking good.
So the Vegas money is on Houston right now, obviously, which, I mean, that's not a surprise.
I mean, Tennessee's down there. I mean, they've had, they've showed some. Tennessee's hard to, like, they're one of those teams. If they get stroking, man, they play good defense. The teams that play good defense, that's the one thing in the tournament. If you play good defense, you always have that going for you. You can always fucking, if you're conditioned and you can fucking play D. And it just depends on now how banged up these fucking guys are.
These odds I'm looking at here, this is to pick them to win the tournament. Scroll up. What's the kick? Because some of these this is a steep ass fucking odds. This is for
winner.
Okay, winner. All right, so these are the odds for the winner. You're only on a plus 300 on Houston. You get a little deeper, get into like Alabama 800 plus 800, 900. Then you're over 1,000 from Purdue down, which would be, for those of you listening, Purdue, UCLA, Arizona, Baylor, Gonzaga, Connecticut. You're over 1,000 plus 1,000 on all those odds. So. That's what I'm saying, but I mean, based on the conference tournaments, some of those teams could be up there, man.
It'll be interesting. It's going to be hard. We may have to do a special. We may have to do a special fucking bracket out. Like we may have to come in twice one week. Fucking do get like maybe an hour coverage, just bare bones hour coverage on the tournament.
I'd love to do that, friend. I'd love to just talk basketball all fucking night. You kidding me? That would be incredible. But you know what? I want to do something special for the Final Four, for March Madness. And here's what here's what we're doing. Here's what we're doing next week. We're going to have a March Madness bracket, and we will play it out next week. But it's going to be all of the Florida man and Jersey guys in the bracket. And we will vote to see who advances and then who wins the March Madness tournament of all of the antics we've covered.
Yeah, but it's fucking. We can't even get it's like Mike Tyson right now on the guy that was masturbating and fucking fighting off the
huge odds. But we're all gonna vote.
I mean,
all five of us.
Not trying to sway anything, but if I'm putting money on, I've got the vehicle to sway. I'm going to do it.
Listen, that's a big one. But then don't forget about the guy who he was fucking a dog and destroyed a church nativity scene on the lawn of a church. Those two end up in the finals.
I see. I just don't relate with them.
Yeah, but the other one,
jerking off and pounding some cops, I can see. So,
well,
call me crazy.
This week's stiff one of the week will be brought to you by my friends. I'm going to hold up this item right here. Our friends at Manscaped. It is time for some spring cleaning, and I'm talking about your body. And what I'm holding here,
I got that in the mail,
is what is known as the Weed Whacker 2.0, and it's in the kits that you can order, guys. The Performance Package is here. Performance Package 4.0, by the way, let me just tell you. They do have a beard line, which you are seeing right there, but their Performance Package features their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, and this beauty right here, the Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer. The Weed Whacker 2.0 is a monumental upgrade, by the way, from its predecessor. The Weed Whacker 2.0, it's a premium ear and hair nose trimmer featuring improved steel blades with taller and wider slots to allow for better catching of the hair. I'm looking at this now, and it's absolutely true that this will clean you out the right way. Now, that kit also features everything for your personal grooming. You have the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. Big fan of the ball deodorant. I know Kevin enjoys the Crop Reviver Toner. You know, for some days you may not be as fresh. Just pull out that toner in the bathroom of the Capitol Grill or the Arby's. Couple of spritzes down there. You're ready to go. Their performance boxer briefs are rather lovely, too, and a good fit. Travel bag to hold the goodies. Guys, when I'm talking about the total package for your personal man grooming, I'm talking about nothing but Manscaped. And here is the offer for you. We always take care of the Kliq This listeners. Save 20% off and get free shipping with the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. Your nose will thank you right here with the new the Weed Whacker 2.0. Fast, easy. Don't even feel it. Tremendous. Love me some Manscaped. Thank you, Manscaped, for sponsoring this week's stiff one.
My wife throws the uncle flag on me almost every night because I sit there with that fucking beard brush and just fucking, my shit's gotten way, they have a conditioner.
Yes, they do.
You know, so I put that in. It's like, I pack that shit when I go on the road now. It's like,
which brush do you use? They have the little wooden comb in the beard kit.
The wooden comb is when you wake up because it's almost like, well, like if you're gonna go, like wake up and go down for breakfast, you just hit it with the comb and then hit it with the brush, because sometimes you get fucking hair that'll stick out like crazy and shit. But if you're just going out for breakfast or something, then once you take your shower, then you do your fucking, you put your conditioner in and fucking. I just go right with the camel hair brush or whatever it is.
With the soft black bristles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manscaped. So our stiff one this week, that we talked about the smacking a few weeks ago. And here is something, this is from, I think, 2004, and I remember this. On the New York radio station, they had a tournament called SmackFest, where men and women would come in and square off each other. The rules were very simple. I think you needed one hand behind your back. You couldn't hit like in the eye or nose area. It had to be a clean smack across the face. And I remember when this was going on 20 years ago almost. And it seems relevant again. So let's get a little bit of SmackFest. These two young ladies talk about going stiff. Holy balls. They don't hold back. I think that this should be brought back, maybe in public forums.
For our listeners at home now, let's Yeah, let's give him a little fucking play-by-play there.
Yes, you'll hear it. I mean, this was for radio. Actually, this was a radio broadcast on Hot 97, I believe. So, all right, if we could bring this up. Yeah, jump up ahead a little bit here. We don't need the introductions. Let's just get rid of
It's
here.
heads.
Who's your money on right here?
Do you want
Nash?
to defer your first smack to her, where she'll give you the smack first?
No idea.
Or you want to take your shot first?
The girl on the left's bigger.
My girl wants to give me ass. We have Cheetah and Aisha Summer Jam Smackfest 2004. Cheetah,
keep in mind.
Open-headed smacks only. Cheetah, go. Oh, that was a headshot, Cheetah.
That was not very
You
good.
get some warning. To the cheek. Remember, $1,000 in Summer Jam tickets. You gotta stay to the cheek. Aisha, you gotta stay to the cheek.
Now you get your head.
Aisha.
Oh, yes, you broke it.
You gotta keep going behind your back. Right hand smack.
Listen to this one, guys.
Don't punch her.
Aisha, go. Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God! What I told you about Dirty?
Looks exactly like our production studio, doesn't it?
Yes.
Cheetah, go.
That was better.
Aisha, go.
Oh.
Cheetah, go. Aisha, go.
See, I think the girl on the right's got a better chin.
That was a good one. That was a meaty one.
Go. Cheetah, go. Say you're right. Aisha, go.
This goes on for about an hour.
I was gonna say, this is putting Buddy Rich to shame.
That was weak. Now watch what happened to you for that smack right there. Now watch.
Aisha, go.
You can see it. You can see where it's leaving a handprint.
Hot 97 is the morning show.
Aisha, go. Go. Go.
Ooh.
Thinking of bringing this to the show. Dom and Steve, you'll be up first, squaring off. All right, so anybody out there who's listening, who would like to see, just search out SmackFest 2004 Hot 97. Get some of this classic video.
Jesus Christ. Can we, I mean, feel like if I can give the fucking viewers a half a hand job just now. No fucking finish? What the fuck was that?
Well, I mean, it goes on and on. You want to slide down to the decision? I think we know who won that one, right? It was the one on the left.
I don't know because I didn't see it. Nobody else did. Like you can't fucking.
You want the finish? Well, all right, here's the finish.
You can't go that deep into this fucking thing and not give them a finish.
Let's see. They knocked a sign off the wall.
Let's not be disqualified.
2004.
Let's not be disqualified.
Yeah, everybody,
That's the most
ladies,
important thing.
Here we go.
Remember, no hitting of the eye and keep it fair.
No hitting the head and no following each other
So
after
we're
the show.
continuing the
We just took the Nets
SmackFest.
from Jersey.
Because Jersey came at 20.
Let's take his money from him. Here we go.
Clearly, our production value higher than Hot 97's as they can't hang the sign behind everybody.
Jesus Christ, man. Get to the fucking finish.
Jesus Christ.
I need to be fucking put in the thought pattern on what we show and don't show.
I'm putting it down for it, guys. Go. Aisha can take it right here. Aisha, take it.
Points on that one. That was kind of weak. Did she got him back though? No, she got caught.
Aisha, no.
Okay. Disqualification. A DQ finish.
Oh, see, what a fuck. That was horrible.
For hitting in the head.
That was horrible. Why did we?
Just to get off on the smacking.
Jesus Christ. I mean.
You wanted a story told? You want an angle? You want me to write a promo for Aisha?
No, I just don't want it to last longer than Bambi.
That was a lot shorter than the Buddy Rich solo.
At least, I mean, Buddy Rich didn't get DQ'd at the end of that motherfucker.
I had Buddy Rich set here to square off against Animal from the Muppets in a dueling drum solo that I skipped over because I felt the flow of the show.
You got to realize I'm doing these shows fucking stoned. I got no tolerance for this shit.
NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. Woo!
As an adult, don't we all miss spring break? Nothing like taking a week off from all your responsibilities. Well, here's the next best thing for adults, a spring break from house payments. SaveWithConrad.com can help you get rid of all your credit card debt just like that. We're routinely helping our listeners save $5, $6, $7, even $800 a month. And you don't need perfect credit or money out of your pocket to do this, but check this out, no house payments for 2 months. It's SaveWithConrad.com.
You know what you have a tolerance for? Florida Man and Jersey guy is back this week in preparation for the March Madness.
I knew there was some kind of fucking something going on when we having the brackets.
2 headlines, real headlines. One courtesy of a Florida man and one courtesy of a Jersey guy. Okay, first one. Man admits paying hitman $20,000 in Bitcoin to silence a teenage victim.
Jersey.
Let me finish the headline.
Jersey.
Man admits to paying hitman $20,000 in Bitcoin to silence a teenage victim in a child pornography case before seeking a refund. After the rates fluctuate.
I told you I was stoned. Nothing will get by me.
The second one is man named Hercules wearing nothing but cowboy boots. I'm sorry, a cowboy hat attacks a woman with a machete.
Nobody in Jersey's got a machete. I'm staying with my original choice of Jersey, Florida.
Well, it's a very good thing you did, Kevin, because a gentleman named, John Michael Musbach, a resident of Haddonfield, New Jersey, got in a little trouble for some online sexually explicit shenanigans with, I think, who he thought was a 13-year-old boy. And parents found the images, contacted police, so he sought to hire a hitman for $20,000 in Bitcoin, which at the time was about 40 Bitcoin. Then contacted the hitman for a refund. And it's a good thing this guy was caught and put away. And then, of course, the Florida story is Hercules. Let's get a good look at Hercules here for a minute. There he is. Hercules. Just more incentive for you folks listening to also check out YouTube to see Hercules.
Him going into the joint will be a jarring experience.
Oh yeah, they love
that. It doesn't look like he's done any time.
Miami-Dade police arrested Roberto Hercules after attacking a woman.
When did they get rid of the metal fucking trays in the lunchroom?
That's your Hercules voice.
6 months ago.
And that's it. So once again, Kevin successful.
Asked her for her crack pipe. See, that's so fucking Florida.
Right, and then attacked her.
Yeah.
When she didn't give it up. She didn't have it, and he chased her with the machete.
But
wearing only a cowboy hat.
All the fucking intangibles. You got the bicycle.
So these were all the clues that would lead you to Florida, you're saying.
But I didn't need it because as soon as you said Hitman and Bitcoin, I'm like, that's... In Florida, you fucking you go in your garage or your tool shed and you get a fucking tire iron, you go next door and you whack your fucking neighbor in the fucking skull with it.
You're a detective at heart.
Supposedly.
Allegedly.
What's it? And I watched the first 2 episodes last night on Netflix. It's a guy that's doing he's doing the double life for killing his Murtaugh, or what the fuck's his name?
Oh, Murtaugh.
Murtaugh.
Yeah, the one that was just put away.
So I watched the first 2 episodes of the Netflix special. I think it's also on HBO Max. I might. I know for a
the
fact
the 3-episode
yes,
series.
so
Yeah.
So I got the first 2 down. This fucking kid that he ended up shooting was just a fucking. He was a hellion, man.
Yeah, he really was.
He beat his girlfriend. I'm feeling all fucking sorry for the guy that his dad fucking shot him. I'm thinking, God, if my fucking kid was a piece of shit and was fucking broads all day long, I might fucking shoot this son of a. Oh.
Yeah, that was a family out of control from the top fucking down.
Yeah, that whole. They're like, oh no, they were loving. She's a divorced person, and they were fucking upside down. They weren't making their fucking bills.
Yeah, and he'd stolen like $4 million from the law firm too. And
no, he stole $4 million just from the housekeeper's fucking life insurance settlement.
But it was he was also charged with the firm, taking money from the firm, right?
That's a separate fucking. That's a separate amount.
Right.
It was $4 million just from a poor family, like this motherfucker.
Yeah, he took insurance out on the estate. Was it a month before she?
He's in protective. He's in protective custody right now. We got to do a fucking bracket on how many times he gets sodomized week 1 when he goes into fucking general.
Won't they keep him in solitary because he's a noted figure, or would he be out in population?
He ain't got no money.
All right.
Money's all gone. You ain't got no stroke, bro. Can't pay nobody to fucking protect your ass.
Pay him with cigarettes.
Welcome to the jungle.
Well, listen, if he's getting sent up there, he's going to need to probably defend himself. So it would behoove him to get his hands on some athletic greens, some AG1 before heading to the joint. You're going to need energy. Need.
Well, maybe we'll send this fucking motherfucker some athletic greens.
I have some of the travel packs, and when I give you the code in a few minutes, you're going to get some free travel packs. Maybe send them.
Maybe
to
we can
Murtaugh.
work out a deal with Athletic Greens and maybe have the commissary carry them.
That wouldn't be bad either.
For the health and welfare of all the prisoners.
Right. We don't want them in too good a shape. Maybe they would be. Yeah, they'd overrun the COs. But guys, this is it. AG1, your greens, 1 pack or 1 scoop in 1 cup of water every morning. Start your day with it. Pour it in first thing. That's what I do before I even have the tea. First thing is the AG1. I use it every day. I started taking it, number 1, because they were a sponsor. But when I read up about them, and they talk a lot about gut health, I did have a medical issue at the time, and I wanted that confidence. I wanted to know that I was absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food-sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. And let me tell you, this may make me shallow. Most important thing, the biggest takeaway, it tastes good. How many supplements can you say that about? How many supplements can you say that about? Not many. This tastes very good. I enjoy it. I look forward to it. It's helped me take back some ownership for my health, energy, recovery, focus, fights aging. Guys, reclaim your health. Arm your immune system with a convenient daily nutritional drink. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. Don't have to do a million different vitamins and pills to look out for your health. 1 scoop, 1 cup of water once a day. Now, to make it easy, we have partnered with Athletic Greens to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. With your first purchase, all you have to do is go to athleticgreens.com/Kliq, Kliq. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Kliq. Take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Thank you so much, AG1. And Kevin, to get back to you for a minute, goddammit. I was reading about how it seems anything you say here tends to be carried on a wider scale, which is an interesting thing. But in considering the Twitter comment the other day, I thought about how many things are attributed to you, maybe falsely, misconceptions about Kevin Nash. So I thought we would spend some time this week talking about some of the most popular misconceptions. Oh, maybe they're not misconceptions. You'll tell us. But I'm going to put them out there, and I want you to either disprove them or accept them. So the first one I'm going to bring up, this is a kind of a softball because I know the answer to this. I often see that you were trained at the WCW power plant.
That would be false. The WCW power plant did not exist in 1988, 89, 90, 91.
Now, you did train in Georgia.
I trained in Lovejoy, Georgia. I trained in Jody Hamilton's wrestling school. It was Jody was just a Jody. No, it was not affiliated with the NWA, who I signed my first contract with. It was an NWA, not a WCW contract. And yeah, I was basically, this was back when the scam was you ran a wrestling school, you'd have an open tryout, 20 guys would come on a Saturday, they would pay you $1,500 for you to fucking physically and mentally abuse them.
And they wouldn't come back.
And none of them, nobody had a heart, a soul, none of them, and they would wake up like, so like to do 500 Hindu squats and 500 step-ups and 500 push-ups and 500 sit-ups, then run the ropes, then run around the Quonset hut that only half of it's the wrestling school, the other one's a carpet remnants fucking store. And the ring was a boxing ring with the 2x whatever those are, 2x4s or whatever, I don't know what the fuck those boards are. I never put a ring together, so I'm sorry I wasn't that guy.
You had some carpet remnant to cushion your fall.
Well, no, that we had we had plywood, then we had some carpet remnants, and then we had some actual very nice carpet padding.
Ah, yes.
That fucking, because when you flat back in your house when you were a kid on that fucking
quarter-inch.
Yeah, you know how that fucking, especially in a boxing ring, it's just like, that motherfucker, man. I said, and that's back when you would go down there and you would take like, because every match was like headlock takeover, and then they started, you do like, take a hip toss, arm drag, and then they fucking grab an arm and call the next spot. And you do that fucking, that you do a hip toss and an arm drag. You do 30 of those in a night on that fucking cement fucking ring. And I wonder why I get up in the morning and I fucking am just screaming.
Now, but in addition to that, were you bouncing at the same time?
Yeah. I was bouncing day shift at the Cheetah. I built a day shift, man. I had like 130 fucking girls on Thursday and Friday and Saturday.
In the day.
Yeah. And I had fucking, I built a fucking day shift, man, with some fucking, I had some beautiful, beautiful fucking girls.
But so now you'd train, you'd work all day. Then you'd go train. Would you have to go to the gym too? Don't you? Because
I'd get up at 7:30. I'd be at Coffee's gym, which was right up the street from my. I lived on Franklin Road with my wife, and I would go up to Coffee's gym. Then from there, I'd usually go to the Waffle House and eat breakfast. Then I had my. I'd have a tuxedo shirt. My tuxedo would be at the club. I'd go to the club, I'd take a fucking shower at the club, and then put my, change my drawers and put my clean shirt on, put my tux on, put my socks on, all that shit. I never wore a bow tie. Not until, the only time I wore a bow tie was if I worked night shift. I thought day shift should be informal.
A little more casual.
Well,
casual strip club bouncer wear was no bow tie.
Right.
Open collar, like that, open button.
And I've always believed that the statements you make when you don't wear a collar, when you don't wear a tie and you wear an open collar is, I don't work for anyone. Like, nobody tells me what to do. And absolutely. Wesley said it's on this week's episode of Your Honor. And I watched him say that, and I said to myself, wow, because I really struggled with the Hall of Fame to wear a tie. But I thought, out of respect to the guys that I worked with, and out of respect for the like so many of my friends that I've lost, do you know, like Scott's 1 year anniversary of his death is in, like, what is today?
We're taping on the 8th.
So yeah, it's the 14th. He passed him. I'm pretty sure it was the 14th. Was it a coma? Yeah. So it's going to be a year, and it's just like, wow. And it seems like 4 or 5 months to me. And I guess because I spent so much time with Scott, it's like so many things that I think about or do, like, automatically connect me. Like, there'll be a story on the news, and they'll be in Wichita, and all of a sudden it's just like a story will come in my mind of me and Scott in Wichita. And it's like that all the time, and on a daily basis. Something comes up, a song comes on the radio, and it's just like, and then today is 20 weeks that T's passed. So it's like, fuck. And that still feels like, it feels like I just took my hand off the fucking, the stove.
You never have a year like this again.
Yeah. But I did buy fucking a couple of $100,000 worth of Berkshire Hathaway today, so I think I got it at $3.10 a share. So that was a very mature move to actually take some fucking cash and move it around and say, all right, let's get back on let's get back on things. Let's not leave any fucking money on the table here.
Right. So let's get to another possible misconception. So power plant, we've dispelled that one. The order of things in your basketball career sometimes gets jumbled. For example, that you played basketball and then went to the Army.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I smacked my coach at the University of Tennessee, went to fucking Tennessee Tech so I could stay close to my girlfriend at the time. Never played a fucking second there, got in a bunch of fucking trouble, just left school. Went back to Knoxville, hung around there, fucked around for a couple of months, and got in some more trouble. And then it was just like, I needed to join. I joined the Army.
What trouble are you getting into, for God's sakes? Young
I wasn't successful because I got kicked out of school. I wasn't playing ball at the time. It wasn't like I was going to get, I might have got, I don't know. I was just doing my fucking, I'm a gangster fucking period of my life. And I got fucking caught with a gun. Which wasn't cool. And, I just needed to get, I ended up going back home to Detroit, but while I was in Knoxville, I enlisted, I went and saw Stripes with a buddy of mine. And we got out of there. We were we were clam baked. And I said, tomorrow I'm going to go join the Army. He said, yeah, me too. I went down to the fucking enlisting thing, and the guy says, "You're too tall." He said, "But I'll go ahead and let you take the test." So I took the test, and I crushed the test. So when they saw my test scores, they were like, fuck, I can do something. So I got a colonel to fucking give me a waiver on my height.
We need to contact Bill Murray and find out if ever in the history of civilization the movie Stripes made anyone else enlist, if he's ever heard or been told that
Had
by
to,
anyone.
man. Can't be the only fucking. I can't be the only
Did you think the
clairvoyant.
cute MP girls would be?
No, it was PJ Souls. Is that her name?
I think it is actually. Yes.
Yeah, and the other one was the one that turned batshit crazy that showed up like wanted to be Catwoman.
Oh, what?
Sean
Young?
Pretty sure.
Oh, wow! I didn't even realize that at the time.
I may be mistaken.
Someone will check that out and send us the thing probably. But so you so then the army. But when you played ball in Europe, go ahead.
So I go in the army, and while I'm over in the army, the base commander's just like, he sees me and he's just like, he stops me, and he's in a car, and you have to salute the car. Yeah, so we salute the car, the fucking back window goes down, and he said, whatever, he called me like big fella or something like that. He said, "At ease, come over here." I walked over to the car and bent my head down. He says, "You play any ball?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I played." He said, "Where'd you play at?" I said, "Tennessee." He says, "Knoxville?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You play Division I?" He said, "You play?" I said, "I started 2 years." He said to me, "Well, who's your," and I said, "Captain Black." I gave all the information, and he basically said, you need to be at Miller Hall. They got practice tonight. So the 5th Corps, the Gießen 5th Corps team, I was on that, and I started playing some ball around the area, Kroftorf, got a couple other places, make a little coin. Then I got a little run-ski, blew the knee out.
Mm.
And
so the army was actually like your hookup into professional basketball.
My army was my hookup to like self-discipline, to getting back. It's like I super trained. Now I started squatting again. It was like, I had the perfect job. I worked 24 on and 48 off. And all I had to do was stand in a fucking tower.
Right.
Fucking talk on a squawk box with a bunch of other fucking douchebags.
And stay awake.
Killed the time, yeah.
All right, another possible misconception. We'll see. Word on the street. If you're a promoter, Kevin Nash is very difficult to work with.
Incorrect. If you're an idiot, I'm very difficult to deal with.
Explain.
If you're an intelligent human being that is organized, as you should be, if you are running a show or an event, and there are specific people want to always give me a contract. It's like, no, I'm the venue doesn't give Aerosmith a contract. We send you our rider, and you fucking make sure there's green M&Ms for fucking Steven Tyler. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. It goes the other way. And I'll do it real simple on a one-page deal memo, but I expect if payment is supposed to be the minute I fucking get to baggage claim, that's when payment is. Not when we get out to your fucking shitty, dirty Camry, with a fucking gray door and a white car. Like, no, that's not when. Now I don't want to play. Now you've got difficult Nash because you've already fucking all you need to do, it was just like those fucking assholes in Tulsa. If you can't fucking come to the realization that a 6'10", 310-pound man needs to sit in a first-class seat, and when he says no bulkhead aisle, and you don't understand what bulkhead is, I'll fucking let you slide on that, but then you fucking book me in coach window seats. You are a fucking idiot. And I'm supposed to now give you my fucking body for 59 hours till I get back on that plane and sit on the fucking window next to somebody with fucking, psoriasis or some other fucking skin disease. With there's no way I can't fucking be in their lap. Like, you motherfucker, like, you fucked up. You fucked up the minute I got off the plane. I'm not a prima donna. Fucking man, all I want to do is, boom, segment 1. I am fucking financially taken care of. Now, where are we going? I've already got the information. You told me the fucking place had a restaurant. Like, I'll land late, and I had a guy fucking in Cincinnati that came up. I called him. I said, dude, I'm getting in. I was flying to Dayton, but I was signing in Cincinnati, but it made it easier for him to pick me up because he lived in Dayton. And I told him, I said, all I fucking want is to be able to get something to fucking eat when I get in, because, Atlanta airport fucking, their food closes down at 9 o'clock now. So fucking,
What time are you landing in Ohio?
I was I want to think I was getting, like, wheels down was 11:55, but it ended up being 12:15. So, I mean, at this point, like, I'll eat Taco Bell. I just want to, there's nothing. I get in his pickup truck, and we start driving, and the next thing you know, we're on the interstate. And I said, dude, where are we going to eat at? He goes, oh, there's nothing open. I'm like, he said, yeah. He says, well, there might be something by the hotel. It's 30 minutes to the fucking hotel. And I mean, now all you've done is taken any place that was open and shut it down. And I was just, that's it. It's like, you're not going to recover from that.
They didn't read the rider, clearly. Did they at
No.
least read the no one with psoriasis near Nash part of the rider correctly for the flight?
You can sit in first class with it. You just can't sit in my lap with it.
Okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with it.
So did we disprove that you're difficult to work with the explanation?
No, because I'm not difficult to work with if you're not a
If you're not an asshole, right? That was the thing.
a stupid asshole.
A stupid asshole.
You can be an asshole. I'll be an asshole
That's
back.
true. Right.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
As long as you got your food, you didn't care if the guy was an asshole. If you
Like,
were fed.
working with Eric Sims. He's gonna try to push the envelope on making a 15-minute drive into a 3-hour window for the travel. He's not stupid because he lives there. He knows that there is a 1 in a million chance that a fucking 747 might land on the fucking horizontal bridge. We might have to take a fucking roundabout way.
So you're saying he's bringing you in way too early. He's leaving a 3-hour gap for error to get 15 minutes.
He said, we'll leave. I'll see you tomorrow. Like, he'll drop me off. I'll see you tomorrow at 11. I'm like, what time's there for what? And I'm Googling it, looking at it, going, okay, I know it's nighttime now, so it's going to be different. It's saying 37 minutes. Like, I said, nah, that's too early. And then he's gonna show up anyway. And then I'm just not going to come down. I'm not going to answer my phone. And then when I come down, it's that then we fucking make the game.
And that's why when I booked through Eric, I loved it. I knew my guys were going to be. You're reliable, but some guys need 3 hours because they get lost.
You should be able to answer that question more than anybody because I worked with you.
I know.
We had never met before. We worked together. We were absolutely. I wasn't a dick. I wasn't.
No, I always. I had a fine experience, but again, we had our shit together.
Well, yeah,
so,
and you also fucking have about 140 IQ, 150 IQ. So, I mean, you're bright. You're intelligent. You're conversational. You're fucking well read. How am I not going to get along with you?
Well, I wasn't just talking for myself. I'm just talking about the word on the street.
Word on the street is how many motherfuckers are out there that are like fucking our gang. Hey, that's what I do. Let's put on a fucking promotion. I love wrestling. I got no fucking money.
Most of them.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's just like, well, fuck, I thought we'd draw fucking 4,000 people. Like, they don't draw 4,000 people in the WWE for house shows, you stupid motherfucker. You were counting on that to pay everybody, you dummy? You wonder why I get my shit when I got off the plane?
All right. Another possible misconception here. You led a Kliq strike in Indianapolis where you almost held up the show.
It was a joint voted. It was
the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Scott, Kevin, and Sean. Sean got together.
Yeah. And we told Hunter to sit it out because he was too new to take the fucking heat. We knew there was a chance that this thing could go fucking.
You know what? I never heard that part. If I heard this story, I didn't know that. So Paul was excluded from being able to catch the shrapnel from the company.
And see, those are the things, man. It's the buddy system shit like that. Like, he's like, no. He's like, we're like, no. It's not like you're undefeated right now. I said, I mean, it's like, lo and behold, when the time came, and we did the curtain call, what'd they do? They fucking beat him at fucking WrestleMania with Warrior in fucking a minute. So what? That we all know that's the way shit goes in it.
What was the beef? Why you guys weren't going to work?
There were just so many. There was fractions, and there was.
Was it that your ad-free shows weren't being paid enough, so you guys weren't going to go out?
Well, I mean. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to equate it to like something like that is in our lives every day now, yeah, it was just one of those things where it was just like shit was getting fucked up, and we had a very clear idea where things should go, and we had all the championships. It wasn't like. It wasn't like the office was disagreeing with.
Well, let me just stop you from when you said the way things are going. Do you mean specifically to your angles, you and Sean's angles, or company-wide?
Company-wide.
Okay.
Company-wide, there were guys that had for some reason they weren't using Bam Bam, and Bam Bam could fucking go, and Bam Bam needed to be up a tier, and. Vince got the list and went down the talent, and he would say, "What do you think about him?" And we would all four give our opinion. I remember when Bam Bam's name come up, the first one to say something was Scott Hall, and Scott said, "That motherfucker, man," he said, "he can't ride with me." He said, "But that motherfucker can play on my team because that motherfucker can work. He can go." And Bam Bam was always under the impression that fucking the Kliq, he had heat with us. It was like, fuck no, man. Work. And you like doing this shit.
So stuff like that. So your opinions weren't being heeded.
We just wanted to fucking just clear the air on where we thought things should go. And there was some pay, some shit that was, pay related.
I'm sure money had to be a part of it.
Well,
It couldn't
of course
just be
it was.
direction of the company.
And it was more the length it took to get paid. It wasn't like you got paid every 2 fucking weeks. You got a check when you got a check. It was brutal.
I know the feeling. So, well, let me ask you this. I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't devil's advocate. Do you have a right to talk about decisions being made in the company outside of decisions being made with your character? Does the star of Magic Mike necessarily have the right to talk to the studio head and say, this other production you're working on, I'm not so happy with who you got as the lead?
Well, if somehow Magic Mike was intertwined in that other production, yeah. Because our shit's is not singled out. Our shit's going to lead to the next angle, which is going to lead. Basically, what our shit is one or two chapters in the book. And if you're writing towards WrestleMania, each chapter needs to be precise, and everybody needs to be on the same page of where the fuck everybody's going, so we can all get there as creatively and as efficiently as possible. And that only happens if you plan broader scope than a fucking legal pad a month ahead of.
Okay.
Just my opinion.
How does Vince receive this at the meeting? He did get on a plane to meet you guys.
It wasn't doing it like a gun to his head, man. We just was, fuck, man. If you were running a company
and somebody and my top stars say they're not going to work, that's a gun to my head.
Oh, we just said, fuck them, man. It's like this, we got to do something, man. We just said it didn't work. We didn't say we weren't working. We just said what's going on ain't working. So.
You never implied that you would.
Why would we say that when you can just go, ow, my back? No, there was no guaranteed money, man. By us, I mean, all we were doing is fucking shooting ourselves in the foot if we weren't going to work. If you didn't work, you didn't get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And we're out there anyway, and we're paying for that hotel. So that's out of our pocket. That ain't out of their fucking. That rental car out there that we're fucking be driving to Columbus to, that's ours. The gas is ours.
Correct.
The company didn't pay shit. So yeah, I think I do have a fucking say so.
Very good. I've heard that JR discovered you at the Cheetah Club.
We definitely met at the Cheetah Club, but
did he encourage you to get into wrestling?
No, because Barry Windham was the one that got me into wrestling. Where JR really helped me out is when I finally did get into wrestling. JR had a radio show. It was out in Atlanta, but it was Jim's really fucking good at. I've always wanted. If I had a match in my life, I've always wanted Jim to call it because Jim calls everything like sports.
Mm-hmm.
And he would talk sports, and I'm a huge sports guy, and I would go on his show, and I was an upcoming wrestler, and he asked me where I was from, and I'd make up some name, and I'd be from Sheboygan, Michigan, or some shit, and we just hash it out, but he'd give him somebody to have as a guest that was just, I was like a reoccurring fucking guy that. And we had good rapport, and so, but when, of course, by him doing me a favor, and I was working the Cheetah, he'd come in, and I'd make sure that he was directed to to those that were players,
right? Well, I mean, obviously he sees you at the club. You're a bit of a presence. You're tall. You're obviously fit. He probably assumed that you were using FITBOD. And of course, the irony is back then you couldn't have, right? Because that app didn't exist. Apps didn't exist, and cell phones were certainly.
I actually had the FITBOD abacus.
That's fantastic. That's tremendous. Good for you. So you're able to kind of like for each body part, you could slide the value of shoulders and legs each day.
Yeah.
Right. Well, fortunately for you guys out there listening and watching, you do not have to do that. Okay. You can download the FITBOD app, and it is awesome. First of all, for me, I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not a wrestler. I'm not an athlete. I know the visual, the appearance might indicate otherwise, but I need ease of use when it comes to the gym, when it comes to workouts, the stuff I do here at home on the treadmill and with the free weights. I need help, and that's what FITBOD does. The ease of use of this app is unbelievable. Guys, download it and take a look at it. You're going to love it. First of all, put in your goals. Let FITBOD design the workout program for you, okay? Because that's what's going to happen. You're going to also be able to chart the progress as you go along, and it's dynamic. It'll change, okay? And it will continue. It's like having an all-knowing personal trainer, and so far less expensive than that. I'll give you the details in a minute. But it's going to create a workout program. It's personalized to your goal, your fitness level, and your available equipment. Just put the information in. Tell it what you want out of it, and it's going to design this workout program. And it actually adapts as you improve, okay? Start making progress towards your fitness goals today with 25% off a FITBOD subscription, okay? So keep your fitness habits rolling. Get your personalized workout from FITBOD. Get 25% off your subscription, and try the app free at fitbod.me/Kliq, Kliq. That's FITBOD.me/Kliq. See what you've been missing, okay? You might be wasting time in a gym, or you're just not getting the gains you want. You might have hit a plateau. This will get you over the edge. It is so easy to use. It's actually fun. It's kind of like a video game, but you're actually improving your health, your workouts. FITBOD.me/Kliq. Let's get back to some more misconceptions about Kevin.
I just want to go.
Yeah.
In case anybody has, it's great for either a power top or power bottom. The FITBOD.
Yes. Doesn't matter what you are.
No.
You'll get what you need. I don't know where I would enter that in my FITBOD app. Maybe they're adding it. Are you a power top? And then it changes the workout, maybe for more like more kind of push-up position type stuff. Who knows?
It could be. I would think maybe just be able to sense. Kind of like
maybe.
Kind of like when you see that the anime opening.
The opening, yeah. If they don't get it from the type of workout you put in,
it may lead to gay fantasy.
Kevin, some people say you were just in it for the money.
No. I would say I wanted fame and money.
Fame and money. Did you care about the overall sport
When I first was started?
when you were wrestling?
I don't think there's anybody that's done that for 6 fucking months that continues to do it, doesn't fall in love with it, because it is fucking brutal.
Would you do something for the money if it was bad for business?
So broad, specific.
Would you drop a strap to somebody you didn't think could carry the company if the payday was sizable enough?
It would be my either there's never been a situation then where I manipulate price of what I'm being paid for single match to where I can say, okay, I'll do that for $250,000. I've never been. It's I got paid the same on Wednesday when I was at home as I did on Sunday when I was at the paper. Got paid X amount of dollars a month.
All right, so maybe that was a bad example, but along those lines, is money the only consideration, or is the greater good of the business ever brought into scope?
You always want to fucking, to me, better, the stronger you make the business, the better you perform, the more, I mean, nobody wants to watch bad television, so that's, I mean, you know that, so you go out to give them something that they want, and if the numbers are coincide with that you're in the right direction, then you push it, and if it's too much, I mean, you can tell by people watching it. Like, obviously, last week, people enjoyed last week's show more than they have the few before that, and I think it was because I was stoned.
See, but like a band might record like a rock band record a shitty ballad that their heart isn't in.
Yeah, but
it's a hit. And they
but they also have, they've got deadlines, and the old thing because my son was a musician, and I remember I think maybe Bob Mould said it. You have a lifetime to make your first album. You got 16 fucking weeks to make your next one. It's like, come on. Yeah. It's like, it's just, and that's the whole thing. You have a lifetime to break in, and then, once you get going, man, it's just like, you're not going to have 5-star matches every night. It just, and right. you can't. It's like the NBA. Like, you see now how it's baseball pitching. It's everything. Everything is on counts now. Like, a guy doesn't fucking go out and, like, you look at Bob Gibson, like, just look at statistically Bob Gibson's 1968 year for the Cardinals. If there's anybody out there, I'm not going to go through it because I'd have to be looking at it. It's unbelievable. The amount of wins he had and the amount of complete games he had, it's so superhuman when you look at it in today's statistics. Yeah. And, it's like people, like, it's hard for me, like, the Lakers have won the last 3 games. They've won them without LeBron, but it's hard for me to, like, I'm a LeBron fan, so it's hard for me, but they actually picked up some guys that can drain it, and AD's like picked up the slack, and I'm hoping that they make the playoffs. I'm hoping that LeBron gets back, but like before that, Browning was taking, he had some problems with his ankle, and I think he was playing too much because he was chasing that the all-time scoring record. So now he's, but where are we going?
All around the world, brother, but I'm going to bring you back right now because I'm going to ask you the next misconception.
All right.
Were you responsible for the death of WCW?
No. I didn't own AOL.
Steve, bring up ChatGPT for a minute. I kind of, Steve showed this to us a few weeks ago, and I kind of went down the rabbit hole for a minute here. This thing, it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's a brain. It's an all-knowing brain. Imagine you had a brain in a jar in your desk, and you could ask it anything, and it would spit back facts. So let's type in, was Kevin Nash responsible for the death of WCW? Let's see what the most intelligent app in the world says. Let's zoom in there. There's no clear consensus on who or what caused the demise of World Championship Wrestling, but is generally believed to have been the result of a combination of factors. While Kevin Nash, a former professional wrestler and member of the New World Order stable, was a prominent figure in WCW during his final years, it would be inaccurate to attribute the company's downfall solely to him. Some wrestling fans and insiders have criticized Nash's booking decisions, creative input during his time in WCW, particularly in his role of booking of the infamous finger poke of doom. This thing's incredible.
Didn't book it.
Right. See, now, see, errantly attributed to you, the booking of the finger poke.
What did that do for me? I was the hottest babyface in the territory, and 6 days later, I turn around and give the belt back to Hogan.
So, but even computer bots know that you're not responsible for this.
But there's, I mean, you were talking about, we're doing a thing right now on misconceptions. Let's just go through this fucking 3 chapters, and there's fucking probably 9 in that.
Let's see. Where are we here with the? Yes, well, right. See, so the finger pokes, booking the finger poke was the inaccuracy.
According to me, people would say that he single-handedly, according to me. And when you said that today, I just said no. So obviously not according to me. So that there's another misconception that.
Well, it says according to Nash, people say that.
Yeah, people would say.
I did see on the special, on the NWO special, you did mention to the interviewer that you've read accounts where people do attribute the finger poke of doom. Maybe not you specifically, but the finger poke of doom.
And then I said, but if you look back at that, eight weeks after that, we never lost the WWE. And somebody on comments said that's bullshit. But I want somebody to pull it up. Pull up the 8-week ratings after the finger poke of doom. Google it, pull it up, look at the numbers.
And that's easy enough to do.
Numbers don't fucking lie. You can do that. And if you're fucking bored while you're doing it, I'll come over and I'll fucking teabag you. Drop those fucking lemons right down in your fucking gullet.
Boy, there's an incentive.
Yeah,
Let me pull up Google.
Drop those lemons right down your gullet. You can, if you want to, you can say you're fucking detoxing your liver. Don't give a fuck.
Will you polish with Clubman before, perhaps, so that
no, because that's gonna turn into like fucking when you were a kid and somebody would give you one of those malted milk balls, you never had one before. And they said
the texture. Yeah.
They would say suck it, and the fucking all of a sudden the chocolate would wear off one side, and you get that malt. You're like, what the fuck is this? Like, no, bitch, I gotta crunch those motherfuckers.
Oh, I'll tell you, I don't want your
Whoppers
or a Whopper in my mouth right now.
Whoppers malted milk balls.
I remember them.
And the fucking half-gallon fucking gimmick.
Milk with the malted
no,
the box. It would come in, like with the bendy, bendy top.
It looked like you pour milk, but you had to. And every once in a while, you get one of those Whoppers that was soft. It was almost like a fucking milk dud. Like you'd be chewing them and you hit one and be like, oh, sweet. Like those were the ones that were like
factory errors, like one that didn't get dehydrated totally.
I don't know what they were, but they were fucking, they were like little treats.
Well, I'll tell you what they weren't. Healthy. And Factor is what you should be considering if you want to eat healthy. Here we go, guys. It is spring. It's time to think about these things. We're going to be in our bathing suits soon. You may want to think about nutrition. Chef-prepared meals delivered straight to your door, leaving you time and energy to tackle everything on your to-do list. You can look and feel your best in time for that warmer weather with calorie-smart meals, about 550 or less in calories. If you're too busy to cook, with Factor, you skip the trip to the grocery store, skip the chopping, prepping, cleaning up. They're fresh, never frozen. Meals are ready in 2 minutes, okay? Just heat them and enjoy them. This is the dream. This is what I need. I don't have time to be preparing anything. They come, they're ready. They're not frozen. They're ready to rock. They have delicious flavor-packed meals, help you live. You might be on a keto diet. You're covered. Vegan, covered. Calorie smart, protein plus options. You select that all on the menu each week. Prepared by chefs, approved by dietitians. Each meal has all the ingredients you need to stay satisfied all day long. 34 chef-prepared, dietitian-approved weekly options. 34 a week. Okay? There's always something new to try. Enjoy meals any time of the day. Breakfast options like egg bites, smoothies, and more. I actually had like 8 of their smoothies. I mean, they were delicious. So cut back on the takeout. No matter how you're eating, Factor's ready for you. And here's the big jammy, guys. Head over there, factormeals.com/Nash50. You know why the 50? Because, goddamn it, you're getting 50% off your first box. That's code Nash50 at factormeals.com/Nash50. Get 50% off your first box. We're back. Hashtag Ask Nash. This is where you get access to Kevin. Kevin's an open book. Shares everything. From his liver cleanse, which is currently happening.
Yes, currently on a liver cleanse. I haven't drank since my wife's birthday celebration. Somebody was, I read the comments, I went through the comments, and somebody was, I had to immediately go to rehab. And
there was a very long post concerned about your
they were concerned about my, I said, I told the person, thank you very much. It's just, but, like, if I have to fucking go to the old Billy Jack Hayes talking to Scott Hall, Scott says, how do I break in? And he looks back at Scott and he says, takes a special breed, son. Takes a special breed. Scott walked away because Billy Jack fucking had that hairy chest and those big fucking arms. Like, he was one of the first, he was, he looked different than the rest of the motherfuckers. And, plus, Billy Jack was a badass character in the movies.
Yes.
So that always stuck in Scott. And I just say it's the same thing. It's just like, for a lot of people to consume 3 bottles of wine in the course of an evening, it's inconceivable. But
Correct.
But for me, it's just like, if it's good wine, number one, if I'm hydrated, especially if I've had 16 ounces of Wagyu fucking red meat jammed in my fucking gut, so it's like, and a half a baked potato and a wedge of salad, and it's like, I never get intoxicated. I just stayed up and talked to Pac all night. We just haven't caught up, and he's like me. There's no time. There's nothing worse than fucking having a conversation with somebody at nighttime and they're fucking trying to wrap you up. Because then it's just like, all right, I called you, I'm returning your call, and now you're trying to wrap me up. So, bitch, don't expect my fucking ass to call you again. Because if I didn't realize you were reaching out because you're fucking going through some fucking book and checking a list and checking it twice to fucking make sure you got your fucking buddy system going. Like, fuck you. You don't want to talk fucking nonsense with me? Like, I'm fucking stoned, okay?
Well, he certainly didn't wrap you up.
No. He fell asleep.
Oh, did he?
Because he texted me the next day, and he said, fuck, he said, I looked at my phone. I fell asleep at 6:08, which is 9:08 my time. He said, we talked for over 6 hours. And I said, yeah, I know. He goes, wow. I said, obviously, we had some catching up to do.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Listen, sometimes you don't realize how long you're rapping with somebody.
And it was one of those deals where we just kind of peeled back the onion a little bit on Scott. And, it's getting close, and it's just. So then on top of all that, so this week, I from my financial guy, I get this very stately looking envelope. This is Kevin and Tamara Nash retirement plan. And it, like, all of our finances, because everything's now been meshed together since T's passed. So now it's me and Tamara. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, has your if you live to 90 is what me to 90 and Tamara to 90 is what the funding is. And it shows how much, we get. And it starts like, it was calculated when I turned 62. And I'll be 64 in July. And I just haven't touched it. And it's like, there's all the difference. Like, if I wait till I'm 70 to take Social Security, it's like a difference of $600 or $700 a month, which in my tax, like with the assets I have, like I probably need to grab that shit like tomorrow to make sure I get, like my cut before, somebody decides that Social Security is
out the window. Yeah.
And Medicare out the window. So.
All right, Lucifer 315. If WWE ever brings back Legends House, would Big Kev be interested in living with some other legends? And who would be in the house?
I could name the people that have been in my house on fucking two hands. No.
Couldn't live with another worker, much less 6 other workers.
Couldn't fucking have my shit. No. Could have my shit just not give up my privacy. How much are they paying?
Well, I don't know.
Fucking what, $7 million?
Doubt it.
Right. I do $7 million for fucking 8 weeks.
Well, there's the price out there if you guys were considering another Legends.
I know I'd actually do it for 7 weeks. I'd do it for fucking $2 million.
Seems reasonable. Tony says, Kev, I love watching college and NBA basketball, but I can't figure out the possession arrow in college basketball. Who determines which way the arrow goes? Why don't they just do a jump ball when there's a tie-up? Love the podcast.
That's why they have the possession arrow, because it slows the jumps, slow the game down, and the ability of the referees to actually do a correct jump ball, put it at the right height, is not existent. So what happens is you do a jump to start the game, and then from there it's alternate possessions. So if it's off, so if we win the opening jump, then the next time there's a jump ball, the other team gets it, and then goes, and the arrow goes back and forth.
Okay, got it. David Van Boglin. Kevin, I'm going to give you 5 names, and you give me the first thing you think of. Undertaker.
Huge pop.
Jake Roberts.
He's got some kind of respiratory disease, and he's chain smoking like a motherfucker.
Arn Anderson.
My spot.
My spot? Owen Hart.
Ribster.
Sean Oliver.
Selfish lover.
David Jordan asks, hey, Big Kev, what's the worst hotel you stayed at in your first WCW run?
It was a game that me and Stone Cold used to play. And it was like somebody's Christmas tree motel in Tennessee. I think it was outside of Knoxville. But it was a Christmas. I know we paid less than $20 for the room. There was there was one in Memphis we stayed at that was like, there was gunshots at night. There was a beach hotel in the outskirts of Myrtle Beach that had like crank windows and no air. I mean, we've stayed at some choice motherfucking places.
I bet.
We didn't give a fuck.
Mark Caps. I know you're a newsman, so who are your favorite news personalities? I would pick Cronkite, Murrow, and Daly. How about yours? I know you've mentioned Cronkite.
I think Brokaw.
I was just going to say, where do you stand on Brokaw?
Definitely Brokaw. Rather.
Brian Williams?
I liked Brian. I like Lester Holt.
Mm-hmm.
I think Wolf Blitzer's fucking. I think he's been.
Like Wolf.
I mean, he's been around since the first goal. Sitting in there, fucking. Yeah, they were. I mean,
that made him, man.
Yeah,
that coverage of that war.
Yeah, I mean,
Conflict,
just
whatever.
Christine Amanpour is what?
Amanpour.
Yeah. I think she's a really good journalist.
Okay. Evil Beeve, Kev, you create your own music festival called KEVaPalooza. It's 2 days with 4 bands playing each day. Give us your lineup for bands each day from headliners to opening acts. You don't have to give us all of them, but who would you need on KEVaPalooza?
What is my goal? Is my goal to make money?
Well, it's a festival bearing your name, so you need to give the stamp of approval to these groups. Who are your headliners? You could probably pick the 3 headliners, one each day.
Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and I don't know who the fuck, some country motherfucker that plays a guitar. Chapman? Is Chapman hot?
Would you, because you want to listen to that music, or we're just talking about
no, I want asses and
financials.
seats. I want asses. I'm thinking about running it at the Speedway in Daytona Beach. So, I mean, I'm thinking, I've got a limited demographic.
Pearl Jam?
I mean, now if the only person, like when Hunter had his 50th, and he had a really good cover band, and then he had like Fogerty and the cat from ZZ Top,
Billy Gibbons.
Yeah, and like Pearl Jam's one of my favorites by far. Foo Fighters. I'd have to have the Isley Brothers. Like the Isley Brothers would definitely have to have the Isley Brothers.
Today, how would they sound?
Fucking good, man.
Yeah?
Shit, yeah. Something about that of all the guitar in the world, there's just that Isley sound, that wow, wow, wow. Who's that lady? Who's that lady? Beautiful lady. I think Isley's got a great. I mean, I just think that they're fucking. And I would bring Sade, even though she's.
Yeah, you would.
She's a smooth criminal.
Boy, when the two of us start singing fucking "Who's That Lady," you know we've been on 2 hours and 27 fucking minutes, and it's time to tell everyone that Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Heat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver. Produced by Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2023, Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, do you want to do another one?
Yeah, and let's not fuck the play out this time.
Did we do that last time?
Yeah, fuck the play out.
Okay. Well, get on that, motherfuckers.